Hey guys, Parfex here. Alright, I've been having some technical difficulties, but I think we're finally good. And I'm here to bring you a solo sorcerer build. Alright, this build is not meant for high DPS. This build is not meant for super specific gear like most of the time. This build is meant for you and your buddies, or you by yourself, to get together and just to clear content. This is a build that I have used quite often, and this is a great build for leveling once you get the skills for it. It'll allow you to do a lot of the vet content by yourself. It'll allow you to do the Craglorn stuff that, well, maybe supposedly supposed to be group content. You can probably do it by yourself, and that's where I'm right here. I am in a Craglorn delve called Hercine's Haunt. Alright. And I'm going to show you my build, that I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. Alright, so we're going to start with my damaging bar. I'm running a destruction staff, and we're going to have Shattering Prison. Alright, this is just basically going to be a CC. It's basically going to allow you to keep mobs exactly where you want them, so they're not backing up. So if you have to shield up, you can maybe hit them with this, go around the corner, put a couple shields on if you have to, just allowing you to really control the fight the way you want to do it. Alright? Crushing Shock. Now most people are like, well, why not Force Pulse? Crushing Shock interrupts. So this build is not meant for DPS. This build is meant for soloing or small group play and surviving, and having a ranged interrupt is absolutely amazing. Alright? Then you're going to have your AoE, and that is Fire Ring. And it is basically just going to damage everything around you and put a little dot on everything, doing a little bit more damage. And then Power Surge, you were going to use this over Entropy. Now, to me, there is no debate about this. Some people may try to debate me in the comments, but it heals you for 40% of your critical strikes. Alright, this is a solo build. This is, I'm going to try to survive, and that's it. You can't argue with extra healing. So Power Surge, great. It's going to give you the spell damage buff as well. And then finally, for our main skills in this bar, it's going to be Inner Light, just going to give you extra spell crit so you can heal yourself a little better, and it's going to give us some extra magicka. Alright, for our ultimate, we are going to use Suppression Field. Now, I use this in mobs more than probably any other ability, because this will stun your enemies, this will give you a damage reduction, and give you a spell penetration bonus. Alright, overall, probably one of the best soloing ultimates in the game. There's no other ultimate that can stun the enemies quite like this one. I believe the Templar Nova does a little bit, but this one just surpasses it. This one just, it'll clear stuff that's on the ground. And they have some type of ground effect. She places on the ground, it's going to completely wipe it out. It's just a great, great, great utility. Ultimate. Alright, now we're going to run with the Restoration Staff. Now, the first ability in our bar is Thundering Presence. Thundering Presence is just going to give us the Major Ward and Major Resolve, which is just going to give us a bunch of armor and spell resistance. That's all it's there for. We don't care about the extra damage it does. We just want the major armor and spell resistance, and we're going to keep this up 100% of the time. Alright? Healing Ward. This is kind of crucial. You don't want to waste your magic on this unless you are under 50% health. So don't start panicking, and that's a big thing about this build. You don't want to panic and go ahead and just Healing Ward yourself because you're 75% health. You know, you got to trust yourself, and when you get under 50, I prefer under about 30%, but for starting off, when you get under 50% health, you're going to hit this, and it's going to put a damage shield on you that, if the damage shield lasts, it will pop and give you the health back for it. Now, how do you make sure that it only does it for the amount of damage shield you have left? Alright, because it's going to give you a bigger one the lower your health is, and that's why we don't want to do it on high, because we're just wasting our mana. Alright? And we're going to protect it with this Hardened Ward. You're going to try to keep this up for the most part. If you see it gone, go ahead and reset it. And this build, it's okay to fully charge heavy attack. This build is not meant for super high DPS. This build is meant for, I'm just going to solo whatever whatever comes at me, I'm just going to solo it. Alright, so what you're going to do is when you get low health, you're going to do this. You're going to go ahead, I'm going to pop a Healing Ward, I'm going to pop a Hardened Ward. Alright, so my Hardened Ward is going to protect my Healing Ward, so as long as they don't bust through my Hardened Ward, my Healing Ward is going to give me a nice big heal. Alright, and then we're going to have Rapid Regen. This is basically just going to keep this up all the time and allow us to have a small heal no matter what. That's all it's there for, just to keep us healed, give us some type of healing while we're doing our thing, so that we don't have to constantly rely on Healing Ward for our only heal. And then Inner Light. And then finally our ultimate, we're going to use Summon Charged Atronach. A lot of people like the other one. I actually do not like Greater Atronach at all. Meteor's way better. It doesn't do a lot of damage. This one will do some AoE, which is why I like it. In any single target situation, Energy Overload is better, and Shooting Star is better. So the only Atronach that I like is this one, and when I use this is when ads are kind of spread out, and let's say Meteor's not going to hit them, you can maybe go ahead and use a suppression field, but maybe they're kind of spread out and you can't really AoE them because they're too far out. If you just drop an Atronach, the Atronach's going to start hitting those guys all around you. So it's a great little utility ultimate. It's not your most damaging ultimate by any means, but it's still really, really good. Alright, and then finally, if you have the mats for it, you want to run Panacea of Health. Now, the reason why you want to run this is because it gives you all 3 of your stats back. And all 3 stats are very, very important. Okay, if you run out of stamina, you can't CC break, and that's probably the only way you die with this build. That or not keeping up your buffs. If you run out of stamina, you might die. That's all there is to it. And that's probably, you're going to die more from running out of stamina than you ever will for running out of magic. I know that's kind of hard to comprehend, but when you start running this, you'll realize, well, alright, I can't CC break, so now I'm going to sit on the ground and I can't keep my buffs. You can always heavy attack to get back your magic, but you can't heavy attack to get back your stamina. If you don't have it, maybe run magic. I would probably run stamina, just because I'm going to have plenty of magic, and I can fully charge heavy attack to get it back. Alright, now we're going to go to the gear. Now, like I said, this build is meant for you to be able to wear whatever gear you want to wear. Okay? Let's see if I don't think I have my shoulders with me, so I can show you a build that you guys can run. No, it's okay. But I'm running Archmage. I would suggest for you guys, don't worry about buying this set. I have it, so that's why I'm running it. And I'm actually running, you'll see, just it's not super min-maxed. It's just, if you look, my Destruction Staff and my Restoration Staff, they're not actually part of a set. I have Master Weapons, but I just want to show you guys that you don't have to have super top-end gear or super specific gear to run this build. The only thing that I suggest is run Archmage or Seducer. And the reason why you want to run Seducer is for the last passive. It says the 5 items. It does the same thing. It says reduce the magic cost of spells by 8%. Archmage is a little better because it gives you spell damage instead of, I believe, extra magic. But it's a craftable set. Archmage is very, very expensive. But for the purposes of this build, you can run Seducer, and that's what I highly recommend you guys do because it's a crafted set. And I'm also running 3 pieces of Martial Knowledge. Now, you definitely don't have to run Martial Knowledge. You can run 3 pieces of Torix Pact. Now, I have a necklace right here of the Archmage. If you guys want to do a leveling build, and this is what I suggest for almost any sorcerer for leveling. Alright, and this is also you just wanted a solo round, I would go 5 pieces Seducer right here, 3 pieces Torix Pact, or it doesn't matter. I just so used to doing this because the 2-piece sets, but 5 pieces Seducers, 3 pieces Torix. You can go head, shoulder, and then a weapon. You can do Torix Pact. Torix Pact is going to give you spell damage and health, and it's going to give you almost the same buff that I have. It's going to give you a little less spell damage, but it's okay. And then your rings, I'm running Pseudo's Light because I have them. You guys can run whatever you want. It doesn't matter. This build is not hindrant on your gear. It is just your play style and how you can keep up your buffs. That is all this build is doing. Is as long as you keep up your buffs and keep your resources up, you're going to survive and you're going to go through content fairly easily. Alright, that showed you my gear. I gave you some suggestions. I showed you the skills, and now, oh, I don't have my drink on. Let's go ahead and use that. Alright, now I'm going to show you my attribute points. It's a little different than normal. I put 45 points into health and 17 into magic, just because I wanted that little extra health while I'm leveling around. You can definitely put more points into magic, but I kind of wanted to get my health over 21,000 just because it was my number that I wanted to hit, so I made it sure it was over it. And then the Mage Mundustone, if you're a magic user, just use that one. Alright guys, I'm here to show you a little bit of how this build works. Now, like I said, you're going to keep up these buffs as much as you possibly can, and then you're just going to damage with this bar right here. Alright, so I'm going to start applying my 3 buffs, and then putting my Crit Surge on. Start by keeping those guys right here. My Hardened Ward's gone, so I'm going to go ahead and reapply it. Alright, and all I'm doing is AoEing these guys down. I'm watching my health. Alright. As you can see, my health barely dropped. Alright, so we're going to try it on these guys right here, but this time I'm going to pull a bunch of them, and then I'm going to show you exactly. As you can see, do you see that? I put some of those guys so they don't all follow me here. Going to keep up some buffs. We're going to pull a bunch of guys. Now watch this. Whoop. That really hurts when it hits you. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Reapply my buffs. Now look, they're just sitting on the ground. Now I'm going to go ahead and AoE them a little bit. Apply some of my buffs. Look at that. I mean, I'm taking a lot of damage, but it's not really hurting me because I can pretty much just go forever. If you want some magic back, you just go ahead and heavy attack. And I would suggest you heavy attacking on your buff bar because it gives you a little bit extra magic back with your passives. Plus that way you don't have to switch bars to put up your buffs. I mean, I can sit here and just heavy attack these guys to death. I mean, that's how so good this is it doesn't matter. You can just forever keep your buffs up. I'm going to just stand this red. See? Doesn't matter. Alright, we're going to kill these guys. Alright. We'll pull one more group so I can show you. That was actually a fairly good spot for Atronach as well, but Negate just stuns them and it's just so good. Let's go ahead and pull these 2 groups right here. And I'll go down and throw an Atronach for you. Alright, just keeping up my buffs. And as you can see, that guy over there. Now watch. Bam. Bam. Put up Hardened Ward and Healing Ward. And watch how my health goes up. Boom. Look at it. It's almost 100%. I went from almost dead to almost 100%. Now watch. It's a little bit of crowd control so I can place my buffs back up. And just keep my buffs up. Now what you can do is you can line of sight a little bit so those archers aren't just raping you. Now you're going to heavy attack to get some magic back. No, you're not. See? Now, I sat there and let them hit me for a while. And even when I got low health, I mean, low health and low magic, it's okay, because you can get them back so easily. So then we're just going to drop an Atronach, Healing Ward, Hardened Ward, and watch this. Almost full resources. I'm just going to heavy attack the rest of them, because why waste the magic? And I'm full resources when the fight ends. Alright, so as you can see, this ability, or this build, can take on a ton of enemies at once. Alright guys, so that's my soloing build. It's a build that I've used a lot, and it's a build that I hope you guys can enjoy. Thanks very much for watching. Go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do it. I don't know why you haven't. But thanks again, guys. I'm almost at 500 subscribers. You guys don't know how much it means to me. I'll be putting out some more videos lately. Hopefully I get all my technical difficulties situated. But I just want to thank you guys again. And I'll see you in Tamriel. Thanks for watching.